A generational wealth transfer has begun, but the only asset being moved is men. I did not want to make this video, but believe me when I say,
Sorry, Princess.
it was just too hard to ignore. Have you ever wanted to make money in your sleep?
Our PayPig is taking me and my bestie shopping today.
Buy fancy jewelry?
Perfect timing because my PayPig just sent me $5,000 today, so I obviously went shopping.
And most importantly, dominate men.
I guess, since you were such a good boy. What do you say?
Thank you, Princess.
Look no further, because there is a new opportunity in town, and it's called Findom. I have found a community of girls making more than a doctor's salary by simply bullying men. This community of girls are called doms or goddesses, and whether you like it or not, they're everywhere, seeking vulnerable men to devour.
So addicted, so much. Like your only job is to serve me. Yes. You may say it. My only
job is to serve Melody Maid.
My only job is to pay Miss Melody Maid.
My job is just to pay Melody Maid.
This topic is just too sensitive for me, so I'm bringing in my brother Tommy to take it from here.
Thanks, bro. For those of you that don't know, Findom is a fetish which Quora defines as a dynamic where someone, usually a female, controls the expenditures of the submissive, usually male. This means that the finances are used as a type of bondage and discipline, rather than ropes or handcuffs. In simple terms, it's the easiest way to extort money from men legally. It's not just about treating yourself with their money. It's about controlling their money. And this ideology has become widespread within the community. Have you noticed it? Most girls entering the dom lifestyle are very young, typically between 18 and 23, because it's the easiest way to make a living by, let's just call it, leveraging their influence on men.
And what did I say? You have to look rich. These guys don't want to pay a broke bitch. They want to pay a rich girl that already has her life together. She don't need any money, but she's gonna take it from you because she can. That is the attitude, guys, okay? I hope you're getting it now. Treat them like an ex-boyfriend. It works.
Within this community, there is this belief that all doms are special, that they deserve to be spoiled, to be stress-free, and most importantly, to bless men with their presence. That's where the name goddess comes in. It's so bad that if you search for goddess_anything on Twitter, you'll most likely find a Findom. You can tell by their similar profiles like the age, cash app, and finally cost of tribute. In the good old days, Findom used to be seen as an art, but now it's an opportunity for extortion that is only sustainable with the financial support of another party who just wants to be humiliated. PayPigs are at the center of this fetish. They provide the financial incentive for their doms and take humiliation as their reward. Luckily, we were able to find an actual PayPig in our research. And here's what they really think of this whole thing.
I really want to know, how did you first go about finding a god or a goddess?
Well, I happened to just stumble on it when I was online and met someone who explained what it was. It started small with $20 donations for some verbal degradation, but from there we continued talking and became more regular.
So tell me, what does it look like for you? Do you like being verbally degraded or just financially?
I just sent her money to be verbally degraded, and the sense of being controlled financially is just super hot.
Super hot? Is that how it also feels for you when it's happening?
The best bit about it is it's so regular. She might be on a night out with her girls and the message comes through to buy them all a round of drinks. And it's so exciting. So exciting. Then the degrading I get after I give her money is also just as fun.
At first glance, the relationship between PayPigs and doms may seem unusual. However, it's important to note that this is a consensual arrangement where both parties participate willingly. Some PayPigs see it as a form of role-playing and power exchange. I just am attracted to my dom. She looks hot. She's into horror movies. Her music choices are questionable though. But it's just, she's what I think a perfect woman is. For others, this lifestyle becomes an addiction, leading to a thriving community of doms. So how do we, by now, you know that the financial support from pigs is essential to the success of this fetish. As Bella once put it,
PAYPIGs are just ATMs. They are not your friend.
They-
You don't have to text them. You don't have to build a relationship with them. Text them all day. Say good night, good morning. They just want to be broke by the end of the night. So if they start sending you money, you're gonna drain their bank account, take every single dollar you possibly can until they cry about it and block you and come back a week later. They want you to be a raging bitch to them the second you start interacting with them. Never say please or thank you. Just remember that your face is the moneymaker and this is not, okay?
Okay, that's why it's a stark contrast that highlights the power imbalance inherent in this type of relationship. Just the way the pigs can be found on various social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Snapchat. Some are predators, while others are simply creepy. Regardless of their intentions, one thing is certain: they are always drawn to the allure of power and control, as well as feet pigs. In a confession from another pig, Adien, a 22-year-old student, stated that being a pay pig was much easier for him than forming real relationships. One crucial part of his statement, which nobody seems to highlight, is he doesn't feel lonely as long as he can pay his goddess for her attention. When he can't pay, he's at work. And it's a constant cycle. Aiden is in an addiction relationship that relies on him becoming financially disabled. And even he knows it. That's why he joined a PAYPIG support group to seek help and advice for the times where he feels guilty for taking money from his family to satisfy his needs. And almost every PAYPIG we could find suffers the same story. Neglection as a child, sadness, difficulty in keeping a relationship, low self-worth, insecure in dealing with women. I could go on, but most importantly, lack of regret. In his words, Aiden has many regrets in his life, but being a PAYPIG is not one of them. He said that being a PAYPIG just spiced up his life and taught him how to work harder than he ever thought was possible. Findom starts with a simple idea, often fueled by TikTok. The idea of living a sweet life without doing anything can be enticing to anyone, especially when women happily promote it as an easy way to control men and gain financial freedom. It spikes something in you. That maybe it's not all that bad.
I'm only 18 years old and I average 40 grand a month from bullying men. Not showing anything, just bullying men. I am basically a professional, certified, spoiled brat on the internet. Men send me thousands of dollars to get called a stupid loser in return. I don't lie about how much I make. Here are a bunch of my payouts, from which tenor this is just one.
So you start seeking validation online. Once you've justified your emotions, the journey into the world of Dom begins. We've already explored the initial steps involved. However, there's a darker side to this fetish that I've refused to touch on until now. It's the potential for addiction and obsession that consumes some women. You may know this word as insanity. With any sexual behavior, we have to ask ourselves, how do I feel about this? Is this consistent with who I want to be and the values that I have? And is it doing any harm to me at all? And is it consensual? And then if it ticks all those boxes, then it's nobody's business. But what if it doesn't?
I need a fucking piss.
Okay. May I please drink your piss?
Are you gonna actually catch it all this time?
Yeah, if you spray it in my mouth, I will catch it.
Mouth open.
What you just saw is a clip of a man drinking the pee of his dom directly from her vagina. When I started this project, I thought it was just a simple exchange of money for power, but I was so wrong. This is something else. This is about the pleasure from control to the mentality of superiority and the excitement of training grown men as dogs. Literally, meet Princess Honey, the goddess that makes this all possible. Honey is sorely responsible for some of the most dangerous and abusive content you'll ever find on the internet. Email me if you find somebody worse. From small dominations like making her pigs kiss her toes, to potentially almost killing a man. To be honest with you, I don't know if I would consider this a fetish or just straight out evil. Irrespective, she's managed to gain over 80,000 plus followers on Twitter, as well as a successful OnlyFans business. Yes, her followers are something. I just can't put my hands on it. Maybe because of her abusive videos towards men. But since he's smiling, I guess it's okay. In another post, she openly admits to physically harming her pig, even posting proof on Twitter. And I guess her followers love it, because the comments can't get any better than this. Where do we draw the line between the fetish and taking advantage of vulnerable people? Good question, Jambo. You don't. Is it illegal? It isn't, because findom, like many other kinks and fetishes, is all about consent and mutual enjoyment. As long as all parties involved are consenting adults and respect each other's boundaries, it's perfectly legal. According to a professional dom that has been in the business since 2001, it shouldn't be illegal, though, if all parties are consensual. However, it should be practiced with caution and limits. For your entertainment, I decided to reach out and interview a few doms on Twitter. Out of the 12, I sent messages. 2 blocked me, 6 responded, and 1 answered my questions. So without further ado, here's what a goddess thinks about the industry they work in. But before that, there was one important piece of information I left out, and that is some of these PAYPIGs are being blackmailed into doing some very inhumane things in fear of being exposed by their doms. In fact, it was so extreme a few years ago that it cost the life of a PAYPIG after being blackmailed by a goddess. So with that context in mind, do you think findom is a female fetish for domination, or is it just for financial gain?
Both. Some people do it because they like it, and some people do it because they've seen it on TikTok and trying to make easy pounds.
If you had the opportunity to stop right now, would you take it?
Nah, I find it fun. I'd only give it up if I met someone who didn't like it.
Does it baffle you that some of these men seeking domination may be suffering from trauma or mistreatment?
Men are weird, so I don't get surprised by anything anymore after things I've seen.
Most importantly, how profitable is it? Can it replace a 9-to-5?
I left my full-time job in March and do this full-time, which gave me flexibility to do other things with my time.
With all these factors associated with this fetish, should it be illegal? Actually, I think it should not. People should have the freedom to do whatever they want to do with their money, as long as it does not cause any harm to the parties involved. In this case, legal restrictions can and should be placed to protect the pigs and their welfare against situations that in every other case would be illegal. And finally, is this morally acceptable? That's a question I leave to you to decide.
You did so well. So well.
Oh, an alpha hat too. Look at that.